For the thousands in Los Angeles suddenly without a home, it is a slow process to figure out what comes next. But one thing that's proving difficult for many is finding a place to rent. California's Attorney General has announced active investigations against price gouging, and officials across the board say they will find and prosecute anyone trying to take advantage of the tragedy. In tonight's Prime Focus, our Jaclyn Lee has more on the struggle to find housing and those trying to put a stop to price gouging.
A war zone, ferocious, apocalyptic. These, just some of the words used to describe the utter destruction left behind in Southern California. But the devastation goes beyond what the naked eye can see. It's the emotional toll buried in these smoldering ashes.
This photo.
That's your street.
Yeah, that's our house. That was our house.
A lifetime of memories gone.
Embers coming off.
Tens of thousands of evacuees now suddenly without a home, desperate for shelter, sparking a real estate frenzy.
I've spent $8,000 already on Airbnbs.
Oh, wow.
Longtime Altadena resident Erica Lee, along with her husband and 7-year-old son, lost their home in the devastating Eaton fire.
It's been terrible. We've been bouncing from Airbnb to Airbnb, and we're looking for a place to rent, but everyone else is too.
We met them as they were touring homes for rent.
How many listings have you lost out on?
At least 5.
5?
At least.
What happened?
They just say that they're already taken, or the one that changed the rent on us last minute, we couldn't afford that anymore.
And just like thousands of others, they desperately need a single-family home as they sort through insurance.
So you have a child, you have pets, you have your mother, you have your husband, and you need space.
Yeah, because now we're all going to be living together. And insurance isn't going to give us enough money to cover a house like we had. Some of them are good, but everything's at least $6,000 or more. And insurance hasn't told us yet how much we could spend, so we're just kind of guessing at this point.
Los Angeles is already one of the most expensive places in the country to rent a home, and some residents are now willing to pay even more to get a roof over their heads.
What is the craziest thing people are willing to offer?
We've seen people offer double the rent, tens of thousands of dollars over. We've seen them to pay for landscaping.
I'm announcing that DOJ has opened multiple active investigations into price gouging reports, and we will prosecute any crimes we find.
Chelsea Kirk is monitoring all of this. She's the director of policy and advocacy for a tenants' rights organization that is tracking rental increases. She shared this spreadsheet with ABC News. It is one of several that residents are using to report potential price gouging. She took us to Beverly Hills, an area she says is seeing some of the steepest increases.
Are you seeing a surge of new listings that have never been listed before?
Yes, I am, and that's concerning. I have this theory that a bunch of Airbnbs are suddenly available and on the market and taking advantage of this moment.
Under California law, during an emergency, people or businesses are only allowed to increase prices charged for housing by up to 10%. Anything above that is illegal.
So you're compiling all of these properties to then report to the authorities?
So we already have 40 plus, probably 50 plus volunteers now who are actively reporting 2311 at this moment.
An analysis of data obtained by ABC News shows nearly 400 listings with prices that appear to have spiked after the fires.
What made you want to start tracking it?
A couple days after the fires broke out, when it was kind of becoming clear what the level of devastation was in terms of, number of people displaced, number of homes lost, one of my first thoughts was the rent's going to go up, and I bet it already is.
A spokesperson for Zillow telling ABC News they've already removed hundreds of listings that had price increases above the 10% allowed during a state of emergency. The real estate company Redfin, however, tells ABC News they have not removed any listings as of yet. The company that runs homesandapartments.com says there are reports of bad actors, and they are actively evaluating the impact the wildfires have had on their listings. The LA District Attorney pulling no punches.
Your name will get out there. Your company's name will get out there. You will be publicly shamed.
What would be the allure for a landlord to want to price gouge?
In certain situations, there's a very well-qualified tenant pool that is willing to pay an exorbitant amount to secure their family a home.
So this is like a cash grab for many landlords.
For some, it is, and it's unfortunate.
But some landlords, like Julie Sue,
Okay, this is a very open style kitchen.
are just trying to do the right thing.
This is just within like yesterday, every like 5 minutes.
She listed her Highland Park home for rent right before the fires
It's an open style closet over here.
for $5,500 a month plus utilities.
I would say hundreds of applications on a daily basis.
On a daily basis?
Yes, and it's very hard for me to process all of that because you could see the need in their text.
Sue says prospective tenants are essentially getting into bidding wars, offering to pay her a year's worth of rent up front.
They were saying, I could give you 1 year contract.
1 year up front.
Up front, yes.
What criteria are you going to look for to pick the one person to live here or the one family? How do you judge who has the more devastating story?
It's just very hard for me to like process or give you an answer to that. But I see it when I see the devastation.
As for Erica and her family, she says thousands of others have had an uncertain future ahead.
Gosh, do you guys plan on rebuilding?
I wanted to, but insurance isn't going to give us enough, so we might rebuild and sell, or we might sell the land. There are a lot of people out there trying to take advantage of people right now, and so I'm just trying to talk to people I trust.
What is your biggest fear?
That we're going to have to move out of the area, and my son may never see his school or friends again.
So much loss beyond the homes. Our thanks to Jaclyn Lee for that.